buy the Screwcap. But it just comes down to a question of style. And for me, the Screwcap gives you a slightly sort of brighter aroma. It's sort of a bit more. The fruit is a little bit fresher, almost a little bit more precise.
Which again?
The first one's a screw. And then, so the second one for me gives you a slight textural element to it. It's it's not quite as bright. It's not so much dull as a little bit sort of more rustic for me, and it's probably a little bit more closed. I think somebody used the expression. And people in New Zealand, basically, the whole move to Screwcap came about because Cork is supplied by the Portuguese, and it's controlled by a couple of countries, and New Zealand's at the bottom of the world in terms of where Portugal is. And when as a winery you buy corks, they deliver this little sample, and corks come in massive bales of like 10,000 corks each. And they give you a couple of corks, and as a winemaker you take the corks and you throw it in some wine, and then you taste the wine the next day, and you can smell it, and if it's corked or if it's off, like cork taint is basically a bacterial contamination. It comes from chlorine. And you can taste it, you can smell it. So you take the corks back and you go, no, we don't want those corks, thank you, send us another batch. But the cork companies, being the bastards that they are, excuse me, they just send it to another winery. And because New Zealand's down the bottom of the proverbial cork toilet, we would just get all these bales of corks that were off coming down to New Zealand. So sort of about 2000, 2001, you were having 20 or 30% of wines coming out of New Zealand that were corked. And the winemakers as a group just basically, well, that's no good, because for us, most of our wines, we sell our wines to restaurants or private clients all around the world. So for people like us, we're sending our wines away, and it'll come somewhere like here and you taste the wine, you go, oh, I don't like that Mount Edward, that's no good. And we would have absolutely no control over it. And so as a country and as a group, we got together and just said, basically all the best wineries in New Zealand got together and said, well, see you later on that, we've got to do something else and move to Screwcap. As a winery, we don't know what the best result is, because there are good corks, and I like both of the wines. It's just really a question of style and preference. But from an exercise point of view, I think it's pretty interesting. It comes down to preference and so forth.
Are you telling me you can put a cork in a pot and the next day you can tell if it's going to be corked?
Yeah, absolutely. You can. Now, wine will get corked almost overnight. Like if you cork it. If you do have a corked wine, I shouldn't even be telling you this, but a really basic way of fixing it is to throw some Glad wrap in it, and can put a little bit of Glad wrap in it, cling film or whatever you call it here, and taste it the next day, and it completely changes. It's amazing. It's just like one of these really bad tricks, like putting wine in microwaves, which you shouldn't do. We would never do that. But as long as you take the Screwcap up, you can heat them up quite well, apparently. Yep. 2009, so you've got another wine there, 2009. So that's in Stelvin. And basically we wanted to show you